right. We woke up, so that means we have to do another show, Todd.
Yep, I made it. Another day.
Welcome to Your Daily Scrum with professional Scrum trainers Ryan Ripley and Todd Miller.
What's up?
We got to pay more for that fade effect.
Yeah.
All right, we got another great question. We're going to jump right into it. You know who we are. You know what we do. Check out the description. And in case you're confused, there's plenty of good info there. Today, though, we got an awesome question from one of you out there in the comments. By the way, your comments turn into videos. So leave us a comment, drop us a question. Probably going to see it in a video rather quick. All right, the question today, what does a Scrum product owner do all day? Mr. Miller, what do you think?
Yeah, I think we can add a whole bunch of sticky notes. First, we really dig this this picture that we go over in the professional Scrum product owner course, right?
Oh, yeah.
Really dig this picture. What I noticed, Ryan, is Scrum seems to be just a little bit of a part of a product owner's job, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's pretty wild. Something that's usually eye-opening to a lot of the students in the class is that a product owner is really an agile product manager. And you have all these activities outside of Scrum that you're performing while interacting with a Scrum team. And so all of the great product manage activities, it could be developing personas, stakeholder management, building a product backlog, conducting user interviews, watching users use the product, analyzing data from the market, having budgetary and fiduciary type meetings within the organization. I mean, we could rattle off 1,000 things that you're doing that have nothing to do with the Scrum team, but you're going to use a lot of that information and inputs when you go to the Scrum events, right? For example, sprint review. A product owner shows up and they're talking about markets and budgets and customer usage and stakeholder needs. Well, where do you think all that comes from? There's a ton of work happening in the background to get ready for that event. That's a lot of what a product owner is doing. You also see a product owner in the green area here with Scrum working with developers frequently. You know, developers will come and ask clarifying questions about work. They might have a feature or idea to bounce off the product owner. Likewise, the product owner might have new and updated information that's coming straight from a user or a customer or a stakeholder. So there's a continual level of this collaboration happening within the team as well. And so a lot of things are happening, a lot of things in motion. Todd, you've lived and breathed this role for years. You know, what does this feel like day to day?
Yeah, it feels really busy, right? I can remember, and I tell this story quite a bit, and I don't know why it just sticks out in my brain. I remember I was in a meeting with stakeholders, doing some stakeholder management. What I was trying to do there is I was trying to be let's say a negotiator to some extent, but with final decision making, right? So authority between these stakeholders, and I basically am getting my head ripped off. They want this, you want this now, and I'm like pushing back, and then they're fighting with each other. And then I remember walking out, and there's this big team room with 80 people in it. And I had like 3 or 4 people just walk up to me and be like, "You're late for product backlog management. What are you doing?" And I'm just like, like, I get it. I was just getting yelled at, and now like let's just settle down. Go refine the top of the product backlog. I have it prepared because this morning I got in here at 6:30 in the morning before anybody was in here and spent 2 hours working on ordering the product backlog, adding details to it, clarifying things so that teams could refine it on their own. And then on top of that, I had some really amazing UX people working out on the field, doing customer analysis and building upon personas and looking at what's happening in call centers. And then they're coming back, feeding me information and asking my opinion on a direction that we should go and things like that, because I was the final decision maker. I think, Ryan, I could just keep going on and on and on. And I feel like everything led up to, as you said before, everything for me led up to 2 things. One, the sprint review and how I was going to articulate all this stuff that happened in the sprint, and with decision making things to stakeholders, and show up there, and then to sprint planning, right? And then as soon as sprint planning would be done, I'm like, okay, fine, product backlog is in good enough shape. for only a little bit of time because now I have to get back on it, reorder it, make sure details are added, make sure everything's ready for that. So that was a day in the life for me. And those are things that stuck out.
Yeah. And we haven't even talked about product discovery, visiting customer sites, watching how they use a product,
metrics,
roadmaps, working plans. Aligning to vision, aligning product goals to visions.
Yep.
Product goal development,
right? Like, geez.
I mean, we could spend an hour on a video just listing all the things that you have to do. The idea here is, look, your product owner is busy. If you want to know what your product owner is up to, have that conversation. Maybe a retrospective about the product owner and to build some sympathy for that role and for those accountabilities. I think it could be a great way to really help each other everyone on the Scrum team understand just how big of a role and set of accountabilities this truly is. And Scrum is just a small piece of it. So we hope this gives you an idea, kind of what a day in a life could look like. It could be a mix of all of these things. It could just be one of these things. It could be a huge combination. What a great conversation, Todd, to have on a Scrum team, though, right?
Yeah. And, one final thought is that all this stuff is so contextual. We can't tell you exactly what a product owner should be doing. They have to be able to adapt and have tools to fit the product and fit the situation and fit the context, just as much as we talk about developers and Scrum Masters being able to do that. So there's a lot of stuff here. Give your product owners help.
Yeah, and just realize how all the work that we identified in this outside blue area is feeding into the creation of the product backlog, the discussions that are happening in sprint review, and all of the great refinement work happening within a Scrum team. And so your product owners got a lot of work to do to make sure that they're prepared to be a fully collaborative and active participant on the Scrum team.
Yeah, right on. Good luck out there, product owners. You got this.
All right. Let us know what you think of this video. We'd love to see your comments below. Ask your questions. Your questions turn into future videos. Like and subscribe so you don't miss it when we turn your question into a video. You might also catch an announcement on social media. So be sure to check out our socials, especially Twitter, to see when your comment turns into a video. In case you forgot to like and subscribe, you'll see it on Twitter or LinkedIn or somewhere else. Some videos are about to pop up. Check those out too. The algorithm thinks you'll like them. We do too. For Todd Miller, I'm Brian Ripley. Go forward, do some good things, support your product owners, right? They're busy. They're getting hit from a lot of sides. See how you can help them out. And we'll catch you tomorrow.
See you.